Hello everyone, this is Julia from Craft Room Adventures. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have another Halloween card to show you using the adorable Halloween party stamp set by Hello Bluebird. Like I mentioned in my previous Halloween card video, we don't really celebrate Halloween that much here, but those critters are just so cute I had to buy them. Now I'm just coloring the little kitty with 064, which is oatmeal of the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I just stamped out all of the images for this card onto Bristol Smooth Cardstock by Strathmore with Versafine Onyx black ink, and I cut them out using my brother's Scan and Cut. Now I'm just shading in the kitty in a light brown color. Like I said, I'm using oatmeal. And I'm just using my water brush to move the pigment around. Now I'm using 172 Ash Black marker by Arteza for the cute little bats. Now I'm just going in with a second coat of the Ash Black to deepen up the color on the bats. Now back to the kitty. I just realized that I took the wrong color for the cape she's wearing. I'm also using Ash Black for the hat. Now I'm using Acid Green, which is number 152 for the smoke that's coming out of the cauldron. I also added a little bit of Acid Green onto the kitty itself to give it like a green glow, if that makes sense. Then I used purple to shade in the cape, and I'm also using purple on the band of the hat, which is the Zig marker in number 80. For the cauldron, I'm just using the Zig marker in 902 natural gray to give it a little bit of definition. And that finishes up the coloring of my images. For the ink blending, I wanted to do another spooky scene with a moon shining. So this time I'm blending Blueprint Sketch, Chipped Sapphire, and Black Soot. I'm starting out with a Blueprint Sketch, making sure not to put too much ink directly around the moon so that I keep a little bit of a lighter halo. Now I'm going in with Chipped Sapphire to deepen up the shadows. And now I'm going in with Black Soot to create my spooky night scene. Now, as you can see, I left the bottom white because I thought it would be covered by the frame I was going to use. It wasn't. So later you will see me going back and fixing that mistake. So if you want to recreate this particular card or something with the gallery frame from Hello Bluebird I will be using, be sure to ink blend the entire background. Now I'm just using a pair of tweezers to remove the moon mask. Oh, that's just so cool. I die cut the gallery frame number 3 from Hello Bluebird 3 times. I also used the grassy knoll die to die cut a grass border, and I die cut some birch trees from Hello Bluebird out of black cardstock. I layered the 3 die cuts of the frame of the gallery frame number 3 on top of each other using liquid glue, and now I'm just trying to figure out how my scene would go together. I figured it would be easiest if I were to adhere the trees directly onto the frames so I would get them placed properly and that they wouldn't stick out of the frame, because I figured that would look a bit weird. So now I'm just trimming off the trees to make them fit inside of the frame. And then I will be adhering them with some liquid glue. I also ink blended a tiny bit of white pigment ink from Fawn, the Yeti ink, on the trees and the grass, and then blended some blueprint sketch on top of that to give it like a little bit of a spooky shine. Now I'm also adding the border, the grass border. I will just place it inside of the window, then trace it with a pencil, and then cut it off using my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer, but I have that off to the side. Now I'm just gluing it, making sure it fits, and then I'm just gluing it into the scene. And now I put glue on the back of the scene, sorry. And with all that glue in hand, that's when I realized that I forgot to ink blend the bottom. Yeah, awesome. So I'm just taking the same inks as I did before and going over that area really quickly. I didn't even get out my mat, my surface, the white mat to ink blend. I just used my craft mat that went over it with black soot, chipped sapphire, distressing because I really wanted that part to be dark. There is still a bit of a border, but since most of it is covered, you really can't tell afterwards. Since the glue is already mostly dry, I'm reapplying it. In a very orderly fashion, apparently. And this time it works. Just making sure that it's pretty much centered on the panel. Using an acrylic black to press it down properly. And as usual, I haven't stamped my sentiment yet. I'm taking my Tim Holtz stamp platform and I'm stamping the sentiment from the stamp set Be Very Afraid. And I'm going to heat emboss this using the Wow embossing powder in Opaque White Super Fine. Now I'm just using quite a bit of the anti-static powder tool because I wanted to make sure that nothing sticks to especially the frame, because there was quite a lot of glue on there. So I'm just stamping this with Versamark ink. And then sprinkling it with the Wow embossing powder. I'm just taking a paintbrush and cleaning off any of the excess. There, I totally brushed into one of the letters, so I had to reapply some of the embossing powder. And now I'm just setting it with my heat tool, which has already been heating up on the side. Now I'm just adding the panel to an A2 sized card base out of black cardstock, using some tape runner. I'm just adhering that down. And now it's time to adhere my adorable little critters. At first I'm stamping the little witch cat with her potion, and then the two little bats. And that finishes off my card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching. I would so much appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel for more card videos. Have a great day. Bye!